You are now listening to the Girl Organize That Life podcast. Coach L3.
Hi, welcome to the Girl Organize That Life podcast, the premier space for high-achieving moms, mompreneurs, and lady leaders who are ready to stop surviving and start strategically living. I'm your host, Latimore-Lorfils, proud mother of 12 incredible children, senior Army veteran with nearly 3 decades of distinguished service, certified transformational trainer, and founder of Girl Organize That Life. And around here, we do more than juggle. We build, we lead, we rise. Each week, we dive into faith-fueled strategies, powerful mindset shifts, and purpose-driven business tactics designed to help you activate your next level. Whether you're navigating boardrooms or bedtime routines, our signature 8-step GPS system guides you to clarity, structure, and sustainable success. Because, sis, you are not just busy, you're called. This is where overwhelm meets order, where vision meets velocity, and where women like you boldly declare, I'm enough. So if you're ready to organize your life, scale your impact, and create legacy-level freedom, let's get into it. Your elevation starts now. Hey, beautiful boss ladies. Welcome back to another episode of the Girl Organize That Life podcast. If you're here, let me catch you up. Episode 1, we're going to go back to just a recap for if you're just getting here for season 3. Episode 1, we talked about her story in the making, where sometimes our greatest leaps happen after our biggest delays, right? We talked about that. And then episode 2, we unpacked what it looks like to push forward against all odds. And then in episode 3, we gave you tools to present, package, and price your brilliance and turn ideas into income. And this season, in case you haven't heard me say it yet, we're moving from building the inner woman to building that outer income and ultimately building your empire. And we're going to do this without compromising faith, family, or freedom, right? Today's conversation is one that can literally shift how you lead, shift how you live, and shift how you build. Understanding, and we're talking about understanding your behavior blueprint. And I'm so excited to dive in with you. And for those that are just new to me, period, my name is Leslie Latimore-Lorfils, where I am your host, and I am here to empower boss women like yourselves to show up in a higher version of yourself. And that's what we do here at this podcast. So listen, what we want to talk about is why behavior matters, right? Why behavior matters for your success. Too many women are grinding through business, grinding through leadership, grinding through life, but they're doing it out of alignment in how they are wired. You ever ask yourself, why do I do the things that I do? Like just kind of in your quiet space. And when you don't understand your wiring, you start mimicking other people. And though the other person may have something that is great and wonderful and revolutionary, that may not be the thing that you are called to do because of how you are set up as your own unique self, right? You start mimicking others, you start building businesses that exhaust you, okay? And you start chasing paths that were never yours to run. Let's sit in that for a second. You start doing things that you were just not called to do, okay? Because you're out of alignment, and it's not because what you're wanting to do isn't successful, is it meaningful? It's just not what is specific to you and how you're designed to grace this earth. So when you work with God, given, designed instead of against it, success feels more natural and less forced. And in those moments, you have to ask yourself, okay, what are my gifts? What am I good at? What do people come to me for, right? So your behavior blueprint, let's talk about that for a second. What that is your natural style of leading. That is your natural style of creating, your natural style of responding and managing your world. So for example, it's the how behind what you do. God gave every woman a divine way of operating. And the key is you have to recognize yours. And when you recognize yours, that's going to propel you. You have to choose the right business model for you. You have to create your ideal work rhythms. Okay. And you have to protect your energy and make decisions faster and with more peace. And you do that, and you do that more effectively when you really understand who you are down to your 3O, your DNA self, what you are really made of, who you've been created to be. So for example, you have some women that are builders, okay? And in these things that I'm talking about, you can kind of figure out where you are. They love to start and structure new things. They love to start and structure new things. Then you have women that are visionaries. They dream big. They inspire others. All right. And then you have some women that are strategists. They thrive behind the scenes organizing the vision. And then you have those that are connectors, They build empires through relationships and through partnerships. And all of us can actually have a hybrid of all of them, but there are specific things that are drawn more to you. Are you more of a builder? Are you more of a visionary? Are you more of a strategist? Are you more of a connector? And if you choose to work with me on a deeper level, we talk about we have 10 behavior superpowers that we really dive deep in to help you to understand what your wiring is made of. And that's provided in my program that I offer, where we really get to the root of your blueprint. But for the sake of this forum right now, we're going to do a high level review of what this means. So knowing your natural wiring, it really will help you to play to your strengths instead of constantly feeling like you're this hamster, or constantly feeling like, maybe even feeling like you're behind. Okay. So what I want you to do, I want you to start leveraging your behavior blueprint. Okay. First thing you're going to do, you're going to observe when you're in flow. You're going to really pay attention to that. When do you feel most energized? When do you feel the most focused? When do you feel the most alive? I can tell you, for me, anytime that I'm sitting and I'm coaching someone in something, or I'm ministering to another woman in something, like I get energy from that. And I'm so enthused about it. I could be dog tired. I could have had a 12-hour long day. But if I know I'm getting ready to sit down with a beautiful one and I'm getting ready to pour into her, I just find this burst of energy just comes over me, irrespective of how tired or how exhausting I can be, because I know that's my calling and that is what I've been designed to do. And then when you figure out what that is, that's oftentimes a clue to your natural behavior in action. See, ask yourself, when are you in your zone of genius, if you will? And then pay attention to, like, what drains you, what may pull from you, what tasks or activities leave you feeling depleted or frustrated. Think about that. And they might be areas where you need to systematize or delegate or outsource. Those are things where you're not going to wake up and say, oh, I want to do that. Think about those areas. Okay. And then the third thing, build systems that match your wiring. Listen, let it be easy. Let it be easy. Example, a visionary, they may need to, a visionary needs a right-hand strategic partner. Okay. They might need somebody that's with them that's going to say, hey, you know what? I see where you're going with this, and I'm going to help you carry that thing out. A strategist may need a long project management system because they're forward thinking. They're thinking about how to carry out that vision of the visionary. So they might need that. And then a connector may need a calendar. They need a calendar built for relationships, not just tasks. Like me, I think I'm a connector. I definitely thrive on building from relationships, building with relationships, building from relationships, letting that really boost me, right? The bottom line, when you're honoring your wiring, okay, when you're honoring your wiring, you're making room for grace, you're making room for growth, you're making room to have greater impact. So that's why it's important to really understand your behavior blueprint. Who are you at the end? Not who's to your right or who's to your left. And though people to your right and to your left, you can use them for inspiration, but not for duplication, not for imitation, because you are your own blueprint. You just like you have your fingerprint, you are your own blueprint. Even identical twins, fingerprints differ, and they're identical twins because everyone has a uniqueness about them. And your job that I'm saying for you for right now is to figure out what is your uniqueness. And that is synonymous to what is your wiring. That is so important. So I want you to do a quick audit. This is your action step. I want you to do a quick audit. I want you this week, I want you to identify one thing that energizes you, that just has you like, right? And then one thing that drains you, that you make you feel like, oh my gosh, I have nothing left. And then I want you to make a plan to do more of what energizes you. Figure out what that thing is and systematize it, delegate it, and minimize what drains you. That's what I want you to do for this week. And let me give you an example. If you're energized by speaking, I'm energized by that. Schedule live. Go live on your page. Do it maybe 3 times this week. And if you're drained by emails, automate your inbox responses. Who knew that was a thing? Right? So I really want you ladies, like, this is not a very long episode, but it's an impactful one, because in order for you to really propel to your next and what that is, you have to understand what you're made of. You have to understand how you were designed. You have to understand your wiring. This is understanding your blueprint. Okay. If you want to go deeper and start exploring tools like a behavior assessment, we can do that. Your behavior superpowers, we can do that. I said we offer that in our program, because the first thing that we want to do, we want to divert you from expending energy that's not necessary, because you may not really understand what you're made of. And once you really get that, you're like, oh, this is now how I can pivot. And this is where I can put my energy so that I can have that greater impact. Okay. And remember, the Holy Spirit has already planted a lot of wisdom in you. Sometimes it's just about paying attention. It's just about really paying attention to what that tap is on your shoulder. Okay, because it's already there. Or that whisper that may be in your ear that says, oh, that is where you should focus. That is where your giftings lie. You, my sister, you are wired for greatness. Okay, I want you to know that. You are wired for greatness exactly as you are. Stop trying to rewire yourself. Okay, stop trying to fit everybody else's blueprint. And just like I said earlier, your blueprint is your fingerprint. There's only one of you. Your divine design is a pathway to your destiny. Trust it, honor it, build with it. All right. I want you to do that. I really want you to dig into those actionable steps, which I said, find one thing that energizes you, do more with that. Find one thing that drains you, do less with that. The next episode, we're going to go even deeper as we talk about building a business that actually works for you. And because you're going to peel back your behavior blueprint, you're going to have a revelation of, this is what I need to be doing. And that, my friend, is going to be your business. We're going to talk about that in next episode, building a business that works for you and not the other way around. So you don't want to miss it. So make sure you tune in. But until then, continue to be bold, be beautiful, continue to stay brilliant. And remember, with everything that's going on, never forget to pivot with poise despite the noise. Thank you for listening. Bye now. Thank you for tuning in to the Girl Organize That Life podcast, where clarity meets calling and powerhouse women rise with purpose. If today's episode lit a fire in you, don't just keep it to yourself. Subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another boss woman who's ready to live boldly and lead with grace. And if you're craving even more tools, truths, and next level strategies, join our inner circle. Head to girlorganizedthatlife.com to get exclusive content, priority access to upcoming events, and the kind of faith-fueled inspiration that keeps you grounded and growing. Remember, you don't have to hustle for your worth. You were born for this. Stay rooted in faith, anchored in purpose, and always pivot with poise despite the noise. Until next time, girl, organize that life and live it boldly. Bye for now.
Coach L3.